Wallenberg. How I got here? Well, it started about 20 years ago when we started our driving school, and Texas World Speedway was the first racetrack in Texas we ran. And at that point in time, we ran the 1.8 configuration because the back section wasn't even open at that time. We fell in love with it then and been here ever since for 20 years, about 4 to 6 times a year. This track in particular is one of everybody's favorite because it flows, it has a fluid, sweeping corners. It works really well for fast cars, generally cars that don't normally turn as tight, and it's just a very fun track just because of the way it's put together, plus the history that this track has. They used to race Can-Am here, they used to race Formula 5000, a lot of the old cars, USAC and all that stuff, so the history takes a lot into the whole account for things, and it's a real racetrack. We are going to miss the track dearly for several reasons. First of all, it was the one that got us here and started us and put us on the map. Second of all, there's nothing like Texas World Speedway. The location's perfect, the facility's perfect, the concession food is some of the best concession food you can get around. It's just down home Texas, and it's a real Texas racetrack.
I'm the run group coordinator and chief driving instructor for the Driver's Edge. I've been doing this since November of 2000. It's kind of sad to see it go. I was a racer here before I started doing the Driver's Edge. I started racing here in 1996. This track has a bunch of different configurations, but also it's the history of the track. This track has been here. They used to have the twin 125s or the twin 250s where they had stock car races and Indy car races the same weekend. My mom and my stepdad actually attended races here when I was much, much younger. It's just the history of the place, knowing that you can go and drive on a track and play at a track and spend time with your friends somewhere that a bunch of legends have driven. I'm going to miss it a lot. It's like a part of the family.
How's the track today?
Good. Not raining.
I'm Dan Alford. My first visit to Texas World Speedway was 1975. I was 17 years old and I was racing a Yamaha 125 GP bike. Had a great time, but as we drove through the tunnel, came out the other side and looked up on the track, we knew that we were at a real serious racetrack. I've been coming here ever since, racing open wheels, and now we're racing a CMC car in NASA. The reason I like Texas World Speedway is turn one. Turn one, you can always pass in. It's a great track for that reason. A lot of change in the lead. We run 4 wide into 1, and all of the lines work. So they say that the fun part about NASCAR is the lead always changes, and this track facilitates that. I've had a lot of fun at this track. Only been hospitalized twice. I've got fond memories from this track. Like I said, we run bikes, open wheels, and now these cars. Always had a great time here. It's like going home for me.
My name is Cameron Kelsey. I really love this track. And I haven't gotten to drive on it as much as I want to. I am going to miss this track. I'm going to miss, coming out here and spending time here,
Yes.
When it's a part of how you grow up and who you are.
That's right.
It's sad when it goes away.
Scott Olson. So I'm the classroom assistant for Rick in the Driver's Edge. Usually the green classroom, sometimes the blue classroom. I'm the person that really brought video to Rick. So earlier on in his career, he was talking, and he's a very gregarious, outgoing person. But he was doing a lot of this, hands. Cars are going like this, and cars are going like this, and cars are going like this. But I actually brought some video into the classroom where I actually had people that gave me video from in-car footage, showing them spin, showing them avoid accidents, showing them go off. And it was a great addition, because then Rick would see something happen and then go, "You should have done this." So it was really exciting to see Rick, develop as a presenter based on video content. So this track is a little bit different because it has 2 nice long straightaways, followed by technical turns that are, one is on camber, 7, and then a very flat turn 1. So drivers have to adjust their driving style for this track. Always an unexpected event. Right after that flat turn 1, 2, and 3, right after 3 is a little hump. So people have to be prepared for that. We always in the classroom say, you'll never really expect this, but you'll actually elevate a bit. Your car will be up off the track. You have to anticipate that. Don't make any changes when you're up on that elevation. Then when you settle down, coming to 4, you're back to normal.
Joe Lamping.
I'm Greg Munn.
So I'm a SCCA racer who's taken on, become driving instructor with Driver's Edge. I think the first time I came out here was in 1996, and Greg helped me get my novice license and race SCCA. I traded him car prep for getting a chance to drive his car, and that's when we started our racing career and built a couple Hondas and raced each other about 7 years.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. He helped me the first time I ever met Joe. I took my car in, and it was late on a Friday afternoon, and we ended up with a real big problem in my car, and he stayed till about midnight to get the thing fixed for me, so I really appreciate that. Got out there and made the race, and then I said, hey, we are really doing this together and doing something. And so we built the 2 cars, and we had the most fun of racing each other. There were times where we'd get out of the car just laughing and carrying on.
Lots of bump drafting down the front straight, and you have some 120 horsepower cars. You gain a couple extra miles an hour.
Anything you can do.
Fan out as you come into turn 1, probably my favorite turn on the track. Turn 1 is just so different from any of the other tracks you go to. It's so wide and so fast, your entry as you come into it. A lot of different choices of where you can go, and it's just a real challenge to your own bravery as you come into that track, and how fast you can make it through there. It makes a lot of difference. A lot of experience really pays off, and you can make other people look pretty foolish. When you see newcomers to the track, I think that's the thing that really catches them out, is how fast you are carrying through turn 1 and 2.
It's a little courage to get down there, and I remember the first time I was able to be flat on the floor through there and not lift at all into turn 2. It really scared me a little bit, but you just gradually work up to that, and so we've.
I'd say it's also probably the place where I've gone off the fastest. I remember sitting on a pole for a race, and it was a rain race, and my wife came out to watch, and I've never gone off the track any faster sideways. I went out and went flying off down the grass side. It was remarkable how the wind coming through your window sideways at 120 miles an hour gets your attention. So like the back side of the track, lots of fun coming into the bank and up on, was that 8 across there? So that's fairly fun. And the chicane is always fun. It's a real lesson in discipline. Got to come in slow so you can get a good run on the straight. And in a race, you can always really kind of make your car real wide, balk your opponent as you go there, and catch a good run down the straight and put a big old gap on them. So that was always fun. I think one of our best finishes, I had a pretty good lead on Greg, and he was in his car, and I thought, I'm going to make this a real close finish. And so I backed off as we were coming to start finish, and he got me by about that much. Right at the finish, I handed the race away.
Well, I said, hey, I've taught you a lesson, buddy.
Never lift up.
Even if somebody you know or even actually like, So, yeah, we used to just laugh and have a great time.
You guys always hang out on racetrack ovals?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, all the time.
Cool.
Our favorite loitering spot.
Nice.